Can you hear me?
I can, perfect.
Okay, awesome. Yay, iPhone technology is fun, right?
Hey, you sound pretty good for being on an iPhone.
Alright, we'll try this again. Alright, welcome back to Distant Star Care's Play Live 2018. We are here with keaur. We'll be doing some Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja on Expert.
hmm Yes, and I am very happy to be here. I'm glad everyone is here. Hopefully, you get your donations in. Unfortunately, my incentive didn't get met, but it's okay because I have a lot to show you guys in this run. If you're ready for me, I'll go ahead and just set it up. We are on Expert, zero kunai. It says Shuriken, but we'll yeah, the game's kind of wrong, so we're just gonna ignore that. So let me know when you're ready, and we'll continue.
Alright, I am ready when you are, so whenever you're ready,
Okay.
let me know.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a countdown. On go after one, three, two, one, go. And the audience starts going wild. So as you start in this forested area that Joe happens to just casually be in, and we're gonna do some casual platforming, just jumping, doing some dive kicks, throwing kunai. So something I haven't really mentioned is I picked up a power up very swiftly, mind you, and there's another one right there. So there's various items in the game that you're obviously going to be picking up. So one of them is going to be 5 kunai, one of them is going to be 20 kunai, another one's going to be a power up. This power up is really crucial to the run itself. So if I sit right here with my knee across this pointed rock, that guy's not going to do too much to me. And we continue. So as you saw, Joe use the character here. His name's Joe. It's very creative of Sega. They Joe is able to use his sword and within a proximity of the enemies. So with the power up, that's when he's able to use it. If you lose this power up, you will not be able to use the sword. It's almost like there is a combo lock on it, and Joe doesn't have it. He actually just will swing his kunai in a futile attempt to damage enemies, but mostly probably damage himself as well. It's best to just keep the distance and throw them. And here's the boss of the first stage. I hope you guys didn't blink. That was really fast. So just some jump slashes. To run in this game, you're going to press right twice or left twice depending on where you're going. So right now, left twice, hit the attack button, and there's the boss. And as I was talking, the proximity slash, that's right there. And that is round 1. Stage 1, level 1, whatever you want to call it. So this is the second stage, also the second level. As you can see, Joe is no saddle on this horse, and we're gonna get past this area by doing some well-timed dive kicks with this horse. No, who ever heard of a dive kick with a horse? I don't know, man. That's just the game. I didn't create it, but we're just gonna utilize it anyways. So as you see the red exclamation point in that yellow triangle, that's alerting you that there is something in the way, and you're gonna have to jump over it. It's okay though, because they equipped you with the C button on the Genesis, and the C button allows you to jump. So casually going through this, you know, it's obviously an auto scroller, but we make it as fun as we can. So doing these dive kicks is a little fun. And there's an extra life, and I'm going to be changing my ninjutsu, which is the special attacks of this game. So jumping over these, picking up all of these power-ups and items that I'm going to need. So one thing to notice, I have 3 lives, right? And that was actually one of the items that I did pick up in the stage. This particular ninjutsu, as you can see right next to my kunai, is what I'm going to be using a little bit later. But for now, there is a... Actually, there's going to be a dead boss very soon. And that is the boss of this stage. Moving on to the next stage, a little bit of platforming, so we're just going to gracefully jump over these enemies, completely ignoring anything that they do because they just want to collect a paycheck. They're not actually out to hurt you. They're just aiming in one direction, aiming their gun, they're doing what they're told, and we're on to the next section. And this as well, similar to the horseback section, this is an auto-scroller as well. Now, it doesn't matter what you do. You can use your blocking technique. All you have to do is just hold the attack button, and Joe will pull out his sword if you have a power-up. If you do not have a power-up, all he does is pull out this little thing. It still works, though. The trusty little kunai. I will have to pick up a power-up since I intentionally took that damage. Coming up a little bit is something interesting. It's not very interesting. Maybe it is interesting. You might find it. We'll see. If you stand in the center of this elevator, these enemies won't do anything to you. Again, these guys are just collecting a paycheck. That's all they're doing. You don't have to mess with them. This guy, unfortunately, he's seen better days. This one too. That was just a 20 count kunai pickup I just got. The other box I did not pick up was a bomb. I did not want that to blow up or anything like that. And that is the power up right there on the right. Now this guy, I don't think he's intentionally wanting to hurt me. I think he's just programmed there to just shoot as he is told. You know, just like the other enemies, he just wants to collect that paycheck. He's not out to kill Joe. But unfortunately, because they're in the way, we have to get rid of them. This kind of makes Joe a bully. So you literally play the antagonist in this stage, because they're not out to hurt you. So I can just stay right here and this guy's not going to hurt me. See? It's pretty easy. So you actually saw this on the stage before, but you can actually do wall kicks, and it's very, maybe not as similar as Mario 64, but if you hug a wall, hold the direction, jump, you will do a wall kick, and onto the boss. Again, I hope you don't blink, because this boss is going to be dead in about 6 seconds. And that is the boss. Very tough. So another thing I did not mention, I mentioned I was getting lives and I had my ninjutsu. I don't think I mentioned that it expends lives. So if I'm low on health, and I use that, it takes my life, but it actually replenishes my life. So you are basically giving up a life to replenish your health and do a lot of damage to everything on screen. If you do this with 0 lives, that is a game over. Do not do that. So yeah, there is a feat to that, or a catch rather. Also, don't blink right here. Joe might have staggered there, but I did not take damage, as you see. There is something very interesting in this game that I still have not cracked the code yet on. You get a type of, like, temporary invulnerability, in a sense, because you don't take any actual health damage. But now, since I've taken that that 1 damage, now I can actually take damage and my health will deplete. So that clip right there actually put me above where I'm supposed to normally be. This is actually going to cut a little bit of the boss off. So that fanfare was cut significantly, and I was able to just jump down. This saves about 3 seconds. And if you can see that very beautiful thing in the background, that is going to be the boss of this area. But unfortunately, we're not going to see very much of it until... Actually, no, we're just not going to see very much of it. The only time we see it is right, where we're standing. That's all we're going to see. Now, in a casual playthrough, it is the stuff of nightmare fuel, to put it simply. So as you can see, there's its little teeth right there, just kind of hanging off there. But we're not going to see too much of it. And there's its very beautiful hand. Man, did they go to the mall and have those islander people come and, have them rub the lotion on the hands? Like, come on. Alright. Moving on, that is the boss. As you didn't see, we're just progressing, smoothly through those bosses. And again, here's an auto-scroller. But this is a more fun one, as you can see that Joe is on a jet board. And these enemies that come out on their jet bikes, so to speak, they are very, very random. They are either going to come out in 3 seconds, they're going to come out in 4 seconds, or they'll come out in 5 seconds. You don't really know. But to kind of get a handle on a better feel on when they come, you'll see me go back and forth as I'm doing right now. For some reason, I have the best luck when I do that. Now, I don't know specifically the time it takes for them to come out, but I kind of just guess as I'm doing and hope that I hit them, which I successfully did right there. The good news about these auto-scrolling stages is that I can casually pick up these items that are coming my way. And as you can see, I have about 261 kunai. That is a considerable amount, and I hope to keep it throughout the run. And if I do not, I will be a very sad keaur. And, but we'll continue. So as you can see, I have no lives, and I was still on that ninjutsu. What I did just now was a safety strat. So in case I happen to hit the A button, which is what activates it, I'm not going to die. I'm just going to activate a shield. Now, there's just the small version of that boss, or one of them, kind of the lackey, I guess. So what I was doing just there was some rapid fire. Within 3 frames of each other, you want to jump and attack. It's very hard to pull off because if you don't get into a particular rhythm with it, Joe is going to simply jump, and it's very frustrating. Thankfully, that was not the case this time. Moving on, one of the better stages in platforming. So anytime you double jump and you throw your attack, you're going to do what I like to call a kunai burst. And you can actually go like buck wild with this, but you want to time your kunais or your burst just right. I'm trying to think of a place I can actually like demonstrate how buck wild you can get with them, but unfortunately, the Genesis can only load so much at one time that if you do it too fast, you will expend a lot of kunai with very little results. So this is a little bit of a long jump right here, and I just nailed it, which is pretty alright. Taking out that enemy, doing some dive kicks just to get down here faster, and here's the boss. Alright, so I want to keep jumping because the waves cause lag. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is, and I have to continue for the run's sake. So this boss has 4 phases. This is the second phase. I don't want to kill it immediately or he does another attack. This is the 3rd phase, and now I'm on to the 4th phase. Wow, stop eating those? Alright, that's good. So killing the boss above the water like that is nets you the fastest kill. And the reason why is because there's no lag from the waves that the boss is creating. And on to the absolute worst stage, in my opinion, of the run. As you can see, there's enemies everywhere, there's fires, you know. Smokey the Bear would be very, very, very upset with these guys. And those barrels cause a lot of lag as well, unfortunately. And a little bit later, I'm going to talk about something that happens on this stage, because if I talk about it now, chances are it's going to happen, and we don't want it to happen. So I'll tell you after these messages. Alright, so that was about the first half of the stage. That's the harder half. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word for some reason. Continuing on, just carefully placing these double jumps here and there. This is actually a very awkward double jump right there that I just did, and I should have hit him, but it's alright. The point is to not get hit and keep my power up. So we're good to go. So basically, if I lag the game out too much, I can cause the Genesis to legit reset. And that did not happen, so that's why I did not want to talk about it during that segment. It legit can reset your Genesis back to the Sega title. It's a very bad glitch, and you're basically just overloading the Genesis, and that's why it resets. It doesn't know what to do. Oh wow, that was an accident. All right. And one of the more technical stages that I find is going to be this one. If you can see in the background, who does that look like? It looks like a very familiar trademarked character that Sega got the trademark for to use in this game. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, so these clips that I'm doing, if you do a wall kick and you hold your attack button to block, you'll go through the ceiling, but you have to also press a direction, the opposite direction that you want to go, because it's going to push you in the direction you want to go. It's kind of weird to explain, but yeah, you'll be able to clip, and it makes the run a lot faster due to this. And I'm not going to be using any ninjutsu for this part when the boss comes because of the extraordinary factor of luck that comes to getting good cycles. I'm going to use my shield. And as we were talking about some trademarked character, check it out. It's Mechagodzilla. So I'm going to be using my shield here. And I want to time my slashes to hit these green orbs because they will wreck me. I have 4 hits until I don't have my shield anymore. And as you can see, the falling debris in the ceiling, there's no way to manipulate that at all. It's just going to come and hit you, and you just have to brace for it. And lo and behold, another auto-scroller. But it's okay, because the good news about auto-scrollers is you can tell, well, maybe not even just auto-scrollers, you can even tell in platforming stages, but especially with auto-scrolling stages, you can tell where things are due to the music. And if you learn the audio cues, you're going to be just fine. Now some of these guys, actually no, none of these guys I have to guess. I was going to say you kind of have to guess where they are, but no, they're exactly where they need to be. And unfortunately, because there's not enough room on these rocks, I gotta do something. It doesn't really make any sense, but oh, come on. It's a video game. It's fun. So we're just gonna be climbing this debris of falling rocks that came from, I have no idea where or what statue it was of. It must have been a very tall, like, idol. Whatever it was. By the looks of it, it may have been like a griffin or something. Maybe something out of a fantasy novel. Maybe a picture novel. Yeah. I don't know. Something concocted from wherever. Like, eventually these enemies are going to cease, and I believe, yes, this is the last one. So now it's just a matter of staying alive. Making like the Bee Gees. Right here. See, you think this is risky. I'm going to show you something in a bit that seems very risky. Now, one thing I notice in casual playthroughs, actually, just a moment, this is going to be what I was talking about. This is the Pebble of Faith. Now, it looks like you can't stand on it at all because it looks really small. No, you definitely can. Don't be afraid of it. It's going to save you. 9 times out of 10. So this is a very interesting character. He turns into wings, a circular formation of wings, and you have to shoot the center. And upon appearing, he turns into this harpy of sorts with a, I believe what's called a halberd. I could be wrong. Someone can definitely correct me. But if you let him fly long enough, he will slice you with it, and it's not going to be fun. You're going to lose your power up, and you're going to lose a lot of time, which is what you don't want. Alright, this is the last cycle, and that is the boss. One fun fact about this area is you can run infinitely to the left right here. Nobody knows why, but you can. Alright, so something fun I'm going to try that I don't have in my record. This stage is actually casual heck. So I need to activate this ninjutsu. New ninjutsu? Right? Anyways. I got a clip right here, and into the traps room, which is the deadliest room in this stage. Why would I go in here? Well, you'll see why. Now I do this wall clip right here, and I go into the wall, right? Obviously. And soon I'm going to do a dive kick, but I immediately change directions I am walking when I do this. If I were to continue on the same direction, I would die. But I'm going out of bounds. Every single room in this stage is connected to something, and that room is connected to the boss. And I'm able to warp straight into the boss, and I'm able to take out the boss. Oh, that was very good. Alright. And the first phase is very random, as well as the second. This boss is not very fun. If you're familiar with Super Metroid, this is the fan tune of this game. Alright, so that so that door on the bottom right was actually the most ideal spot for me to get him in for one try, but I did not shoot fast enough, unfortunately. Alright, so that is the second to the last level. This is the last level, and as you can see, Joe is met with absolutely nothing below to save him. Can he make it alive? Fortunately, you don't have to tune in next time because you're right here. Thank you for tuning in to Distant Star Cares, where people make very risky decisions in their speedruns. It's alright though. We're gonna be alright. Very well timed kunai throws right there. Alright, last one. And we are safe. I feel a lot of relief through that, and we're gonna get through it. And so, this elevator section isn't as bad as it seems. There's actually some tech I'm going to show you. So if you stay in the center and dodge those little cherries that the turrets shoot at you, what you're actually doing is doing a bit of buffer. And you're going to buffer so much, and I'm not saying causing lag, but you're basically overloading the game to the point where we're going to despawn enemies. Because if I were to go left or right, I would spawn some drones, and these drones are not very kind. They're very unfriendly. They don't bring me sugar when I ask. They don't do anything for me. But I mean, in order to have a friend, you gotta be a friend, right? Unfortunately, these guys don't want to be my friend. So as you can see on the left and right, for the last two lines, there were no turrets. There should absolutely be turrets there. Continuing on, one of the more, maybe not difficult, but those green balls that are shot out of those things do a significant amount of damage, and so do these turrets. That's what makes this area challenging, is the sheer fact that a lot of things in this area do a lot of damage. Now right here, a well-timed double jump and a burst. I didn't get over it, but I did get all of them. A well-timed burst right there. Ah, I missed it. That's okay. We're gonna wait. And another one. Ah, that was the best one. Continuing on, that was the first stage, the second stage of the level. Let's continue. Actually, I'm gonna do something very interesting, just for you guys. Alright, so this is some new tech that was found out by Shota Bro. Shoutouts to him. So this actually makes the run considerably easier. If you're shooting for world record times, you're probably not going to want to do this, but it is very interesting to just see yourself just casually stroll through the stage. This is like Super Mario Brothers 1 strats, where you find that nice area to like jump over like the blocks, then you just run across the stage like it's nothing. Or the fly strats. Okay, so I didn't get across the loading plane, unfortunately, and it dropped me down. We're gonna continue, and I'm gonna continue the route like normal. But yeah, you can do that. So I activate my ninjutsu to run across these because waiting for the platform is just too gosh dang long. Thank you very much, Mr. Platform, but you're a bit too slow. So I do a jump slash right there to get under here, and dropping right here, no, I don't die. And the only thing that I can think of is the game has not caught up with you yet. Yes, going fast actually has a perk. So because you're going so fast and the game hasn't caught up with you, the game hasn't loaded, you're able to drop down, and the game only does one thing that it knows that it thinks it has to do, and it spawns you straight up. So I activated this ninjutsu to make sure that I can clear the distance of this clip again. And that is this segment, but there's another segment coming up. It's a vertical segment, and due to my health, I'm going to try a zip. This is something I haven't really shown off. Alright, so the timing on it is very, very tight, and it is TAS only. But there has been an instance where I have zipped all the way up due to it. Very fun trick to do if you can nail it. Alright, so this is the boss. Get ready on time, and I will let you know. Time is not on the death of the boss, but I'll give you a nice buffer. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You want to hug the wall so the boss cannot hit you. And now we're going to be doing some rapid fire, some well-timed rapid fire. Alright, get ready on time. I will let you know. That is the final boss. And time. That is Shinobi 3, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us on Distant Star Cares.
Alright, so that was a 25:33.
It is a very commendable time. I did choose some things that definitely would have hindered the time, but I did it just for the sake of showing off. I figured it'd be interesting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the run. I enjoyed putting on the show, and I appreciate you, Taco, for having me come and showcase this game. It was fun.
Oh, you're very welcome. Before I let you go, I do have one donation for you. I got a $5 donation from Keaur Lover 69420. It says Keaur is a beautiful Adonis of men, and I want him to succeed in everything. So thank you very much for that $5 donation.
Wow, I'm very flattered to hear that. I will do my best to succeed in everything I do. Alright. Yeah, I guess we'll let the credits roll. There's nothing else after this, just direct me, and we'll continue.
Alright, so I'm going to throw in a caster command in chat here, so for everyone who wants to follow Keaur, please go ahead and do so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our next run, which will be Fury, so stay tuned for that.